Here's how I grew from 1,000 followers to 6,000 followers on TikTok in just 4 months at 62 years old. And no, I didn't have to dance because just no, I used story and I used a few boring systems that actually work. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, Mary, that's cute for you, but I don't think I'm built for TikTok, buckle up because everything I'm going to teach you here, you can use on TikTok. You can also use it on Instagram. You can use it on Facebook. This is where you're going to learn the strategy that I use to grow deep, engaged followers in just a handful of months. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to have this exact 5-part strategy. So you can grow without selling out your soul and without burning out. Because here's the deal. I have a full-time job. This is just something I do for fun. So I don't want to hear I cannot. I have coached communicators for over 20 years, speakers, authors, business leaders, and everyday folks, people with something to say who just needed the right way to say it. Now, TikTok is a different stage, and so is all of social media, but it's still the same human brain. All right, you ready? We're going to get into these 5 things now, and I'm going to go over them slowly, so don't you worry. And obviously, there are notes below. Number 1 is our promise. I picked one clear promise for my content. I talked about the power of story and how story can create an engaged connection with your audience. Now, most people are just posting like they're throwing spaghetti at a wall. Follow with me, except the wall's your audience and they're exhausted. So one day they're posting about their dog and how they love their dog and their dog's the most amazing dog. The next day it's all about donuts. And the third is about this, what they overcame, this great thing they have overcome. That doesn't even make any sense. It makes your page look like a garage sale. People just want to browse and go. I want you to make it look like a bakery. People stay. They see, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks even better. They are getting to know you. So my promise is very simple. I help women find their voice using storytelling. That meant every single thing I did pointed back to that. I talked about being silenced. I talked about the power of story. I talked about how you can heal through your story. So here's my question for you. What's the one promise? This is not your job title. This is not your life story. This is a simple promise for her. Number 2, I created 3 formats. Now, what does that mean? I created 3 different types of videos, and that was the structure I used. Because consistency isn't about talent, it's about structure. So number 1 is my micro story. It's a 30 to 60-second story that starts in the middle of the tension. Number 2, that format is my teaching takeaway. One clear point, how to open your story. What is a hook? This isn't a TED Talk. It's one small point. Number 3 is I added in some carousels and B-roll. So what does that mean? Carousels and B-roll, they give me the opportunity to create really simple content that is just a picture and some words on the screen, or a video with words on the screen. Simpler, it's not me talking. It's simple, it's short, it's 7 to 10 seconds. That was my 3rd format. But let me give you one more secret I have in my formula. I started doing lives. Now, what did that mean? So when I started going live on TikTok, I brought the women in and some guys that wanted to learn how to tell their story. And I listened. And what it gave me is the objections, the wins, the hot takes. I got to hear what they were looking for. So that informed the content I created. If you're always reinventing the wheel, if you are consistently trying new things, you'll quit. If you build 3 formats, 3 ways you're going to talk to your audience, and you stay in that structure of 3, you'll stay. All right, so we've walked through 1 and 2. So our clear promise. Number 2 is creating repeatable formats. Number 3 is hooks that earn attention. I got serious about hooks. I studied hooks. I watched videos and I thought, why did I watch that video? Because I like the hook. And I would go back and I would study that hook and I would see what was it about that made me stay in the moment. Let me say this with love. Your hook is not, hey, friends, or hi, how are you doing? That is an immediate swipe because your viewer is not your pen pal. She's not your bestie. She is scrolling, and it is your job as the content creator to stop it. So here's a few that I use. One is the pain point. You might say something like, I used to feel invisible, or have you ever felt like your voice didn't matter? Or I almost quit, because those are pain points and people will pause on that. Now, we're going to get into more later, but let's go on to hook number two. Hook number two is pattern interrupt. It's starting in the very end. If you start with your credentials, hi, I'm Mary, I'm a story coach. Do you want to stay around? No. But if I start with, I was standing backstage, I could not believe she just said that. You're like, what'd she say? That's a pattern interrupt. I am in the middle of a story. I am backstage. Or I could say, I was standing in the center of the stage, the lights came on, and I couldn't remember a single thing I was supposed to say. That's a pattern interrupt. Why am I on the stage? What's going on? So start in the middle of the story. It could be maybe when you got the diagnosis, when you got that phone call, when that big thing happened, when you learned about something. Hook C is the stakes. Something like, if you don't fix this, people will keep skipping you in all the rooms you were called to lead. It's setting the stakes. It's telling them if this doesn't happen, that won't happen. If you don't stand up and speak up for yourself, the women coming behind you won't either. Your hook isn't you being clever. It's you being incredibly clear. We've got one, our clear promise, two, our repeatable formats, three is our hooks. Let's talk about number four. Number four is one person. Stop trying to talk to everyone. When you talk to everyone, you speak to no one. You end up sounding like a motivational poster. Everyone? No. Listen, we all love a good motivational poster, but we're building a business, not something that hangs on a wall. Choose one person, one woman. I want you to know who she is. I know exactly who I'm speaking to. I know why she feels outdated, invisible, and unsure. I get her. And I'm speaking directly to her because here's what I want her to know. Her voice matters. Your story matters. That's why the sign is sitting right here in this room with you. I want you to know how much that means to me. This isn't decor, it's a message. And I have two in this room. One is dream big and dare to fail. Because if you don't dream, if you don't try, if you don't take that leap, you'll just never know. Number five. This is the one that I struggled with because I don't like to call things boring, but I built boring systems because I'm not naturally disciplined. I'm just not. I am extremely passionate, and occasionally I like to chase a rabbit's trail. I'm like squirrel, but progress loves boring. And I had to learn how to be boring. So here's what I did. I picked a consistent recording window. I do my videos on typically Saturday and Sunday, and I batched when I could. And I would create long videos, and then I would chop them into pieces. I didn't punish myself for not being perfect. So let's recap our five. One, you have a clear promise. Two, you create a repeatable format, whatever that looks like for you. Number three, you have hooks. You study hooks. You find your one person and you get boring. All right. So if you want the structure I use for every single story, I want you to download, and you're going to see it a link here, my Feel, Know, and Do guide. This is the guide that I have been using for years. It's the one that stops the rambling, it stops the overthinking, and it creates connection. If you're using your voice here on YouTube, on TikTok, on any social media platform, click the subscribe button. I'm here every week to help you get loud, get clear, and stop hiding what God has put in you. Remember, your story matters. go tell it like it does.